Hey guys, this video is for March, week 2 for our 2nd through 4th grade team. And our life app for the month of March is forgiveness, deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. And our new memory verse for the month, Colossians 3:13, put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. So last week we heard about the story of the unmerciful servant who was forgiven, but then he wouldn't forgive. And our bottom line is forgive others because God loves you. Well, this week we are hearing the story of Zacchaeus. And our bottom line is when you forgive others, it can change them. So just a little bit more detail of this week. It says in week 2, we find Jesus interacting with an unexpected person in the book of Luke, Zacchaeus. He was a tax collector working for Rome. He earned a reputation for taking advantage of his fellow Jews. Zacchaeus was considered an outcast by many. He must have been shocked when Jesus asked to come over for a meal. But when Zacchaeus encountered Jesus, he changed. He went back to those people, asked for forgiveness, and returned 4 times as much money as he took from them. So our bottom line is, when you forgive others, it can change them. When God forgives us, it changes us from the inside out. And the same can be true when you forgive others. You never know what can happen when you take the first step towards forgiveness. When you decide to reach out and offer forgiveness, it can change the way they see you, the situation, and the impact of their actions. So a great story about Zacchaeus. All right, jumping into our leader guide for the week. Like always, would love for you to join us. Good building. In the garage door room at 8:20 and 10:20. It's just a great time to get our minds and hearts right for the morning. I know it's definitely always worth it for me to make it up here 10 minutes early to pray for each other and just to gather together as a group and also enjoy some coffee and donuts together. And then just make sure that you're in your small group by 8:30 and 10:30, ready to go? Good job. Yeah. Okay, wind service. When kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, what? Blow me a big tower. You're just going to need blank paper and crayons or markers at your group. Just make it personal. Greet kids by name as they join your group and ask them how their week back to school went. And then help first-time guests to feel welcome. I don't know why it says first week back to school. I obviously forgot to change that from after Christmas. Help first-time guests to feel welcome. And as kids come in, encourage them to draw the best part of their week on their blank piece of paper. And if they finish, they can flip over and draw their least favorite part of the week and then just kind of share and ask kids about their week. For your interactivity at 9 and 11, you're going to do a little science experiment. So you're going to have 3 cups on a tray, and you're going to fill the first and the third cups about halfway with water. You'll have a little water bottle. And then you're going to put 10 drops of yellow food coloring in one cup, 10 drops of blue food coloring in the other cup. And then what you're going to do is I have 2 paper towel sheets, the little ones. So you're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And then, really you might even need to fold it in half again. I'm not sure what will stay. Okay, so then you're going to place, I don't know how this will work. Sorry, I need 2 hands. You're going to place the paper towel in the yellow cup and then halfway into the empty cup. And then you're going to do the same thing with your blue cup. Kind of fold your paper towel in half. Place one end. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. Sorry. Place one end in your blue cup and the other end into the empty cup. Okay, and then you're going to pass out this predictions page. And you're going to have your kids make a prediction in the top part about what they think is going to happen. Have them write their name on the page, and they can either draw or write what they think is going to happen to the 3 cups. And then you're going to collect all those activity pages, and you're going to head to small group or large group. And while you're in large group, the science magic is going to happen. So you'll close this activity down by saying, so what do you guys think is going to happen to the cup in the middle? Well, we're going to check on these a little later to observe what's changed. And in large group today, we're going to hear about something that can make a big difference and cause a big change to happen. So let's go find out what that is. Head to large group. We have a live host this Sunday, but we will be watching the video for the story about Zacchaeus. When you get back, you've got Presto Changeo Part 2. So you have your predictions page and your little science experiment from earlier. You're going to pass back out their prediction pages and have kids write or draw what happened to the cups at the bottom of their page. And you're going to point out that the water has traveled. I don't know if we'll have enough time in this video, probably not. The water has traveled to the middle cup. And, okay, hold on. And you're going to encourage them to identify what color. So with yellow and blue, you're going to get green in the middle cup. If you use red instead of blue, you would get orange in the middle cup. And you're going to say, so guys, this process is called capillary action, and it's where a liquid flows upward, defying gravity. And the same process allows water to move through the roots of a tree, up its trunk, to its leaves. Shh. Okay, hold on. Hey, why don't you get your granola bar out of your bag over there? And if you have time, you can do a second row and just kind of empty the middle cup and repeat the whole process if you would like. And then you're just going to talk about forgiveness as you watch what happens, as they can kind of like watch the process happen with the new paper towel. So just saying, so guys, was this science experiment surprising to you? The color change that happened, creating green from yellow to blue, was super cool. And when you add forgiveness, it can change things too. But sometimes it's really hard to forgive. Sometimes it seems easier to just stay mad. And when we start to feel that way, we need to remember that God will help us forgive. Okay, good job. So think about a time recently when someone did something to hurt your feelings or make you mad. How could choosing to forgive help your relationship with that person? So pause and talk about that. Maybe it's with a sibling or a friend, and then talk about why they think it's hard to forgive. And then it just says most kids are going to have like everyday issues like siblings or friends, but just kind of be aware of a child. Just be aware of any child in your group who might be facing a big issue that one small act of forgiveness won't necessarily fix. And just remind them that forgiveness is how God responds and that He will give us the courage to forgive too, even when we want to stay mad. And also make sure that you focus on the fact that ultimately it's God who does the changing in our hearts and not us. And then just say forgiveness is a powerful thing. And when someone hurts us, it's normal to be angry or upset or frustrated. And of course, if someone is repeatedly doing something unkind, it's best to tell an adult that you trust. But in situations where a sibling is annoying you on purpose or a friend has just said something unkind, choosing to forgive is a much better choice than trying to get even. Just like with Zacchaeus, forgiveness can completely turn the situation around because when you forgive others, it can change them. So for the memory verse review, you're going to review Colossians 3:13 together as a group, maybe practice it with some hand motions, and then you're going to divide your group into two teams, and you're going to pass out these little, this little baggie that has these blank coins in it. And you're going to encourage each team to work together to write down the words or phrases of the verse on their coins. Each team can decide on their own how they want to divide the verse. The only guideline is that they have to break it down to fit on the 10 coins, including the verse reference, Colossians 3:13. And then, so we've already cut apart their coins for them. And as teams finish, shuffle the coins and set them on one side of your small group area. And then line teams up across from their stack of coins and say, go. And the first player in each team will run to their coin pile, grab a coin, return it, and tag the next kid in line. Teams keep going till all the coins have been collected. And then once they've retrieved all their coins, they're going to work together to put their verse in order and sit down with their hands raised to say that they are finished. And the first team to put all their coins in the correct order wins. And you'll close that down by saying, so guys, put up with one another is kind of a funny phrase, isn't it? But sometimes we need to do just that. Everybody messes up sometimes and says something they don't really mean or does something selfish to get their way. And sometimes other people's choices hurt us. But God tells us to forgive and let go if we're holding on to something against someone. So let's remember how good it feels to be forgiven. And let's choose to forgive with God's help, knowing that when we forgive others, it can change them. Then some optional discussion questions. How did Jesus' forgiveness change Zacchaeus? What does it feel like to be forgiven? And how... Shh, what? Okay, hold on. How could forgiving someone change them? So then there's a couple examples of that. Then to close down a prayer, you don't need anything. Just ask kids to silently think of someone they might need to forgive or someone they've forgiven recently. And encourage them to pray on their own for a moment or two, and then just close down in prayer together. And as adults arrive, point out the colored paper towels. Encourage kids to talk about how just like the colored water can change the paper towel, when you forgive others, it can change them. So our water is still moving up. By the time you guys get back from large group, they should be together after a half hour and creating a new color. So that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for serving. I think this is such an important lesson. I love this topic of forgiveness. So grateful for all of you. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on Sunday.